Welcome back, everyone. It is episode 20, January 21st of Beast and Boys Sports Talk with Marcus and Silas. We have an awesome episode for you today. We have UFC preview and divisional round preview. A little shorter episode for today, but I mean, just as
fun stuff. Big football games, big pay-per-view, and
super fun,
short and sweet.
Yeah, and let's start it off with UFC. I mean, Marcus kind of got this down.
UFC 270. It's like arguably one of the biggest heavyweight fights of all time. Francis Ngannou is the current UFC heavyweight champion. Ciryl Gane is I wouldn't even say up and coming anymore. He's 10-0 and is the interim champion because Francis wasn't able to fight a few months ago. And yeah, I mean, Francis is the baddest man in the world. Like, I mean, but he has the strongest punch power of all time. Like, I always like to just throw this out there. His punch power is the equivalent of a 6-foot-tall man dropping a 12-foot sledgehammer overhead, swinging at full force. Oh. That's what his right hook is. It's the strongest punch power recorded in the history of mankind. And then Ciryl Gane was a black belt jiu-jitsu, Divisional wrestler, 10-0, pretty unbeatable. And then you go down to the co-main, it's Brandon Moreno versus Deiveson Figueiredo. And Brandon Moreno is the current champion. Deiveson Figueiredo is the past champion. Davidson won the first fight in I don't know if you know how this works, but it's a unanimous draw. So you can't draw the UFC in a 5-round fight, obviously.
Yeah.
But Deiveson Figueiredo, or Brandon Moreno got a point taken off, which makes it like where if he would have won by 1 round, then they tie. So Davidson got the belt. Everyone thought it was BS. They refight. Brandon Moreno wins, and this is the trilogy fight. So we've got 2 really badass fights.
That's crazy.
So, but I don't know. We were gonna come in and pick 2. I am gonna pick the 2 champions, but one's actually an underdog. Francis has shifted to the underdog with how heavy people are betting Ciryl Gane. So let me just check what the odds have changed to, because it's UFC. People dump millions and those odds change by the hour. But yeah, I'm super excited. Who are you thinking?
So I watched the Marcus kept like all the. He was like, you have to watch these videos.
It's called Embedded. They do like a vlog.
It's like a vlog going up to the game, and I was like, yeah, I will. And I finally last night I was like, all right, I should actually start doing my job and watching this. Yeah. I watched all of it as a 5-year-old could explain. So who is not the champ, not Francis and
Ciryl Gane with Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figueiredo.
Yeah, which one was the one who had the little kid birthday party?
Brandon Moreno. Dude, did that shit not get you emotional?
I'm taking Brandon.
Yeah, me too.
Because her birthday's on the fight night.
Yeah.
So
it's his little kid's birthday. I was like, miss a lot.
As a gambling man myself, I'm like, that's a big day. That's a big day.
For sure.
He's just gonna win.
It shows the sacrifices you don't always see. You don't always see people missing birthdays and missing.
No.
He's also the first ever UFC Mexican-born champion, and
like when I was watching it, I kept thinking. I was like, it was hard to wrap my head around because I think of like other sports where it's like team, and where it's a lot like, hey, other guys can almost help you out.
We've seen even in the Colt situation where something bad goes wrong and you're able to sit out and your team supports you. You have a team around you.
Like the only way you make your income is literally by yourself.
By yourself, winning and fighting and
it is
training.
Quite insane. Just like the amount of pressure. I think it's the most I think it's the most pressured sport. For sure. I
think that's completely fair. And I think people could argue boxing, but like you watch UFC and you see mixed martial arts where it's 10 plus mixed martial arts combined, and it's pretty uncomparable to the sport of boxing, which is dying outside of YouTubers.
It's crazy saying, I make a living in the MMA.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
They make a living beating the shit out of other grown men who want to kill me. Like, we were talking about Israel Adesanya fighting Whitaker, and like before he walks out in the 5th round, 5-round battle, and he goes, I'm prepared to die.
Yeah, I really saw that clip.
It gives you chills. You're like, and he's dead serious. He has blood dripping out of his face, and he's looking at him like dead in the eyes, and it's like, I don't quit. I'm prepared to die. And you're like, oh, this sport is so fun. So I think it'll be your first time when you sit down and watch a whole fight though. Like watch prelims, main card, maybe bet on it a little bit. But I'm gonna go Brandon Moreno and then Francis Ngannou. So Brandon is $185 favorite, so he is the favorite, and then Francis Ngannou, which is nuts to me as the champion, who just took some time off. He beat the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic, who Daniel Cormier is one of the announcers.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Daniel Cormier in the trilogy fight, 1, 2, 3. Like, arguably the greatest. He basically asserted himself as the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Francis comes in and knocks him out. And I don't know. I think the disrespect on Francis is going to show, and some people are going to win a pretty penny. And then it's they do over-unders too.
Yeah,
over-unders rounds. So with those heavyweights, it's really fun to pick the under and then just stand there and be like, when is it? Because there's a chance for this fight's 2 minutes. Like it could be 25, but it could be 2.5.
Yeah.
So
how I was watching both of them, there's one guy who's he played FIFA at the start of it, and I was like, oh, look at this character. And then there's another guy who's literally built like Aaron Donald. And that's Francis, dude. Every single time it showed like a back shot of him, I was like, holy shit, Aaron Donald's in here.
Yeah.
no.
Francis
This man
huge.
is like insane. It's hard to wrap my mind around. He doesn't win.
6'4", 264 and a half.
Dude, he's insane.
And Seal's the same way, 6'4", 255.
Yeah. Just with the muscle mass and how defined he is, it's just like, how does he not win?
Bro, like the way he's built though, it's like
it's
he's not built like a fighter. It's not like an agile fighter. It's like he's built like someone who's body builds and fights on occasion,
or plays football, dude.
Yeah,
like
for real, like a linebacker.
Throw that man at
dude,
linebacker or
D-tackle even though.
Yeah.
Like he would move some bodies at D-tackle, like that strike and hitting your hand out of the way like a swim move. But
yeah, so I'm betting on the fighter, not the FIFA player.
Yeah, they're both. It's funny though because you see, and just to throw out there too, they're former training partners. I was telling Silas that Francis Ngannou used to work on he basically grew up as a child slave in Africa, escaped. His life is a movie. If you want to listen to a really crazy story, look up Joe Rogan, Francis Ngannou. And I know people don't like Rogan much, but it is quite honestly Francis speaking for 3 hours about going to hell and back and surviving. And it's really, really interesting. But they're both from France, which is super interesting.
Oh, really?
Francis moved to France after, and then Cyril was from there. They're former training partners.
Mm-hmm.
So these dudes trained together for 1.5 years, went their separate ways, and met together at the heavyweight title 3 years later. So
this is
super cool.
I'm finally understanding the storyline because I think that's the hardest.
That's what people, yeah.
Like I want to get into this sport.
For sure.
Just like I gotta understand all storylines. It's so much more individual.
And it helps you tie it all back together to like the sport side of it for sure. So
this is gonna be sick. I either watch this as a depressed man or the happiest man.
It's the way Packers losing, buddy doesn't even want to watch her.
The
good thing is that
we're
Larry goes.
not even gonna spread that narrative.
Saturday's gonna go Bengals, Titans, Niners, Packers, and then the pay-per-view main card starts 5 minutes after it. So we'll have 8 good fights. So
yeah, it's either I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just want to get into this.
Yeah, let's jump in.
All right, so I think we ended up
5-1.
5-1
Each. Different games we lost.
Yeah.
So I picked Raiders. Yeah, go ahead.
I took Patriots points.
Silly boy. I tried to warn him.
I'm so
and then
sorry.
I took Raiders, but not to give myself any credit, but I did say that the Bengals were still going to win. I just thought that they would keep it within like a 3-4 point
But
game.
maybe if that touchdown didn't count.
Yeah, maybe if that touchdown. Yeah, you're really right. I'm serious.
Let's get into Cincinnati versus Titans. It's weird. It's been like a 1 week off, and people are already doubting Titans.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
I love Colin Cowherd, but I heard Colin be like, "And this is a team. No one knows how we got here." Dude, they're 12-5, and their best player missed friggin' 9 weeks straight. I don't want to hear that BS. We don't know how we got here.
And he's 6th in rushing.
People, do you understand that? The man played 6 weeks.
Yeah, and he was not 900 yards. That is ridiculous.
He had more rushing yards than 20-something teams.
Yes, it's
people don't understand how dumb. But before you make your pick, all I have to say is I'm gonna look right now. Derrick Henry's over under. I don't care if it's 210 yards, dude. Literally.
There's got to be 88 or something.
Yeah,
because he's coming back from injury.
But I don't know. I know that he's been explosive in practice, but there was an opportunity to play him at the end of that season.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was healthy enough to be eligible to play, not meaning they take him off IR, but there was talk about him playing. I don't understand how you cannot play the dude.
Yeah.
But you put him on a pitch count, you lose, and you look like an idiot.
I don't think they will. It's playoff.
And then, yeah, no, I agree. But if the goal is to not get him banged up, but then if you don't and you win and then he's banged up, you also look like an idiot.
But like guys, during the season near the end, they start getting limited snaps. I mean, you saw with Todd Gurley in his prime, they started eliminating his snaps down the stretch. So when it came playoff time, he was 100%.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The rush yards are real quick.
Yeah.
106. I would happily throw a $20 bill on 106.
Oh yeah.
That is.
Oh yeah.
The way he just runs just chips away, just hits your D-line, hits your linebackers, occasionally gets through to the safeties, and then he busts one out.
Yeah.
It's just like chip, and like by chipping away, I'm not meaning like, 1 yard. I mean like 3 yards a carry, dude. I mean 3 yards a carry, and then he busts out a 20, and then he busts out a 40. Like,
yeah, it's so insane. Like the amount of yards he just gets out of every carry.
I don't like the over 2.5 receptions, but what I do like a lot is the 0.5 touchdowns over, and then 12 receiving yards. I know he's not a big pass down or catching back, but like in one screenplay, dude, and that's 12 yards, and one check down, or 2 check downs, and that's 12 yards. So
yeah, plus the play action.
They
don't understand, like, with him, how crazy this offense will be and how less reckless Tannehill has to be. Because he had, like, a rough year.
He did, and they won 12 games.
Yeah.
I think that's the cool point, though, is without his best player, it allows him to...
And, like, A.J. Brown for, like, half the year.
Yeah, and Julio banged up for half the year.
So it's remarkable out there first.
People are doubting this team, so I think it's fair to say what we both are saying.
Plus, on the other side, I think I read this thing, Titans are like the third most sack. Their defense has the 3 most like sacks in the league, and Bengals are like one of the worst.
One of the worst lines in the playoffs.
I'm just saying, like
it's something important to point out though, like for sure.
It is. I mean, once it comes playoff time, like you just need some blocks,
and it becomes really important. So
I think it's gonna be tight. I'm taking Titans 3.5.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Same thing. I don't know how to phrase this, but I wouldn't be shocked if, like, don't pray anything on anyone, but like, if Derrick Henry comes out a little slow and it's like pretty clear that he's not in a full hundo, like 100%, or like you see at halftime he only has 8 carries, and we're like, okay, why does he not have 15 already? Because they're gonna. I think the goal is 30 carries. I think the goal is 30 carries and 100.
That's their football is run the damn ball.
And that's how they win 10 games every year. Like they win 10 games every year from it. So I think that if they can, but I mean, my only point is like, you struggle to get Derrick Henry going, man, and all of a sudden it's a real competitive game where Joe Burrow's putting up, 30 points.
Yeah. Because people are so on the bit. I mean, I love seeing the Bengals. I love seeing the Bengals team. It's just they're so young. They're all so young still. It's really cool, but realistically, it's just I don't think they're ready yet to make.
They can win one playoff game, not 2.
No, not yet. I think maybe
it's next year. I think it's possible we see them in the NFC Championship or AFC Championship. Sorry.
Yes, totally. But next game, 49ers versus Packers. Packers are favored, 5.5. Points is 47. Marcus.
Oh, did we pick it over under? Sorry. Off.
At least once.
Okay.
One over and
cool.
Under one of the games. I personally, I'm not picking the spread on this game. I just can't.
There's no reason. It'll make it unwatchable.
I'm picking the over for this game. I'd like to see a lot of points, but maybe in another guy's favor. That's all I'm saying. I've been nervous all week. I'm gonna be completely honest, because they're like the kryptonite, but it's only at the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So maybe it's different.
I have a question.
We just explain.
To play devil's advocate, how would you be happy if you lose this weekend or next? Like, would it be more depressing to lose next weekend?
I can't lose to the 49ers, dude.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. Like,
can't.
You cannot lose.
If I lose to, like, the Rams, like, I'll be like...
In a real competitive
I'm like, well, they just bought everyone.
They bought everyone, they have the team.
I have an excuse. I have an excuse.
That is true. I mean, that team, though, that Rams-Bucks game, which we'll get to, it's like, come on, guys. But yeah, Bucks, but... super cool, dude, that the biggest spread's 5.5, and that one opened at 3.5. Like,
Yeah.
this is a great week of football.
Yeah,
like,
this
just
is-
please watch. Like, we're gonna have
Good
a
games.
lot of school.
I don't think
games
there's
this
gonna be
weekend,
stupid
There's
wild.
not. I don't think you see one game that's not competitive. Like, I don't think you see one game.
And I certify that.
I don't think you see one game that goes double digits. Or that goes where a team wins by like 12, 14.
No, it's all. This is the reason why they're here right now.
For sure.
Um,
I personally would taking Niners 5.5. Again, they're not winning. They're not winning. I don't like. I'm a big believer of when spreads have unnatural movement. Natural movement would be like Jimmy Garoppolo is now out. Trey Lance is a starter. Time to move the spread. Like unnatural movement would be like people betting so much that Vegas is moving the spread, or sharps, meaning people that know a lot, betting so much that they have to move the spread. So, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, I think it's really possible that the Niners compete, and it's like comes down to a last minute thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of people are going to be taking Packers, and Dallas wins a lot. So.
And then I either end up being the depressed boy or the happiest boy alive. So we'll see about that. I'll if it comes down to
Real quick, if Tampa wins, would you it'd still be in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yep.
Fun weekend.
Also, plus the game's supposed to be like -6 at night. Plus, Jimmy Garoppolo has bad thumb and a shoulder. We saw what what is it? Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Last year when he was at Green Bay.
And like literally couldn't throw a football 10 yards.
But here's the thing. 49ers are a run team. Like,
they are.
Like I could literally see Jimmy Garoppolo throwing like 7 times and like 2 picks.
Yeah. He said 2 picks on 7 passes.
No, I think the game script, if Jimmy Garoppolo throws a pick, what he has been doing like almost every game.
Matthew Stafford have a pick.
I think Aaron Rodgers will capitalize the shit out of it because you just don't like Aaron Rodgers will just abuse you in time of possession.
You don't give the best quarterbacks in the NFL an extra possession.
No.
Like Russell Wilson.
If they ran down, scored either 3 points or a touchdown, and they pick you off, he's going to score points right there.
I know this year didn't show it's the same thing with Russell Wilsons of the world where it's like. You don't give that boy the ball 2 minutes after a pick. I mean, you've seen that a million times.
Yes.
That's how teams every Sunday lose a game that Seahawks go on.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you saw it with Cardinals once they're down by, 3 touchdowns? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you still have the recipe to come back.
For sure.
They just gave up. They're all just so distraught. But also, I think that Cardinals team was frauds, and...
Dude, all I have to say, guys, is if you've been listening for freaking 20 episodes, this is nuts. This is episode 20. We'll get to 100 and change by the end of this year.
Look at us.
It's I just think that it's pretty funny that for about a few weeks now, even when the Cardinals and Rams played each other, or Cardinals and Cowboys played each other, we were the first ones to say don't put your money on that. But nope. I have a fun one for you. I'm sticking with my Niners pick. Not super confident. I do think it could end up being low scoring. I'm gonna take the under. I think it was 47.5 or yeah 47. Aaron Rodgers rushing yards over under 7. 7.
That's like a red
zone. If you're gonna drop down in coverage, dude, and really unless they think Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are gonna have a really really big input, you're gonna have to double Devontae at some point in time. And doubling Devontae takes a linebacker out of the box, or someone else is in single coverage with no high safety.
It's just that D-line I'm so scared of.
That's why I think this is going to be really, really close, because I think they can push around.
I hate Bosa. I hate him. But he's versus Bach.
Yeah. What if they just move him around, though? Because if Bach's dominating him, man, he'll switch sides.
Like good DMs, that's usually what happens.
Yeah. That's what I always think about watching the Colts game, or the Colts Hard Knocks. Imagine if they still had DeForest Buckner. That D-line at their peak when they were in the Super Bowl was nuts.
But they would be in cap hell right now.
Oh, yeah. They
wouldn't be able to
they'd be paying the highest luxury tax in the history of the league, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's go on to the Sunday games. Rams versus Bucks. Bucks are favored 2.5. Over-under is 48. Oh, man. I'll look up the weather on this game.
It's 60 degrees. He's been to the river.
Oh, okay.
So nice sunny day, Florida. Oh my god, I can't, I've been on the fence and I told myself we're winging it. So, flip a coin.
Oh.
Tails is Bucks. Tails, Bucks.
Oh.
I told myself we're winging it. I've gone back and forth all morning. I have no trust in my instincts whatsoever. All I know is you don't bet on the GOAT.
Hey,
You don't
guess
bet
what?
against
Guess
the
what?
GOAT.
Last week I said I don't bet on the greatest head coach of all time. You don't bet on the greatest head coach.
Yeah, but the greatest head coach of all time had a 20-year-old playing quarterback who sucks.
But
I think you.
how do I spend on this? Brady has a head coach who looks like he has a bomb strapped around him.
Can we talk about
He's
that?
a terrorist, dude.
He has the side strap, middle strap here,
And then
his
his head-
Where does this strap come from?
I don't. And then his face gets so beat red. It's like he's actually the bomb. He's about to go off.
It's so funny.
And then he got fined.
Yeah, for
And he's
doing
trying to
that
appeal it right now.
What do you think about that? So let's
I think
preface
he's
it.
definitely a hard ass coach for sure.
Just to preface it, I can't remember the player, it was a safety, I believe, and he was trying to stop him from getting a penalty, and he walked around and hit the dude in the helmet. And I know, keep it a buck with you, I think we live in a very soft world, in a soft country where quite everything can be spun to be a story bigger than it should.
I mean,
But I don't also think it's valid to hit players. When Urban Meyer did it, it was very wrong. I think that a lot of people were joking, and as a former football player, can completely attest to this, that someone says, you see worse shit in your Pee Wee football league every week.
yeah.
So if we're allowing grown men to hit little children in the head and shake their helmet and smack them, let's not cry in the streets when a grown man gets a hit over the head after he just banged his head into another player for 4 points.
Yeah, literally, like freshman year of football, we had a coach who had a metal piece in his head, and he would literally grab our helmets and
dude.
It's just that wasn't it. I mean, when it comes to Super Bowl time, you get a safety, and someone starts hot dogging, especially with these rules were implemented.
Yeah.
You're gonna take him out, dude. You're gonna do everything you can, making sure he doesn't do that. But yeah, literally last year, there's way more worse things. I feel like the Michigan coach. I think last year, it was going into March Madness. It was the play-in games.
Yeah.
And he literally strangled his player.
No, that was nuts. That's where I'm okay, that is justified.
But I don't know. It's I guess you don't want to appeal that, but
Yeah, I think it's only worth appealing because it's $50,000
for you going
like that, and I don't know, man. I think emotions are high in football. I think it's different when Urban Meyer's kicking a kicker in a practice.
Yes.
I think emotions are super high, and he was screaming at his player in a playoff game to not get a penalty that could be a game, literally game altering.
Whereas literally preseason, you say, start making your damn kicks, different levels to these things.
I mean, even we saw it with he's actually from here, Eastern Washington graduate Jimmy Lake. Do you know that is the old Huskies coach? Got fired for doing the same thing and very a touch more aggressive, but same thing. Emotions are high. This dude hit this Oregon player. Oregon player pops up. He gets in his face. Yeah. Head coach comes over, pushes dude back, and hits him in the head. And it wasn't the only reason. I mean, we gave Jimmy a $40 million, not 40, but we gave a dude a bucket of millions and built him a house, and we never won more than 7 games. So he was a terrible coach, but there's times where it's right and wrong. But I think when emotions are high and the players aren't being hurt, I think it's really hard to justify someone having to pay $50K from their game check.
Yeah.
But
yes, Tampa Bay's defense though, it's insane. Vita Vea is insane. I think this is going to be another crazy Odell game. I seriously believe that's going to be a big Odell game, and it's with Aaron Donald's prime dwindling away. It is so hard for me to not bet on Aaron Donald.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen that Tampa has a real beat up team right now.
Yeah, and Von Miller's showing it all.
We talked about it last week, but what's this with Von Miller and Aaron Donald, where the dudes are coming like this and crossing each other and switching?
If Tristan Wirfs is injured,
well, that's what I'm saying. At all, even if he's at 80%, I think that the Rams win this game. But I'm still gonna stick with my Bucs pick, and I like the over 48 because we're talking 2 high-powered offenses. The only reason why I see that over not hitting Yeah, it's just because of the defensive domination on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they both have a good enough defense, but I think both offenses are very capable of scoring 3 touchdowns, and I think one of them has to score 4. And if one of them scores 4 and one scores 3, there's 48, so...
But yeah, I'm picking Rams. I gotta pick Rams on this one.
Okay.
Also, I really want to go to Lambeau. Watch that game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
And then I guess final game of the week. Oh, the biggest. Bills at Chiefs. Chiefs are favored -2. Both teams just came off of amazing victories. Bills came off the perfect game, and Chiefs demolished Big Ben.
Real quick, do you think it's possible, like, obviously the legacy isn't tarnished, but, like, when Bill Belichick, I mean, he'll never have a documentary because he'll never approve it, because, like,
No.
I'm sure he hated even Man in the
Yeah.
Arena. He probably was so upset that Brady had the rights to all that.
He's like,
No, back to the helmet thing real quick, that's what I lost my train of thought. Brady in episode 4 of Man in the Arena with Gronk, bro, grabs Gronk's face mask, let's fucking go! Smashes his head into him like 10 times, and I'm like, whoa, let's go!
yeah, dude.
Like, things like that are nuts, but do you think that, like, in the grand scheme of things, somewhere in there, you have to throw that Bills game in? I don't care who's playing quarterback, that's never happened to Bill Belichick. I mean, under Brady, obviously that never happened, but I've never seen that happen. So,
Yeah. Man, I love this Bills team.
Yeah.
I seriously love it. I keep thinking about that picture from last year.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. I am so torn.
You want to explain to them about that?
Yeah, so after Bills lost to the Chiefs at the AFC Championship, and while everyone left and the confetti was coming down, Stephon Diggs was like at the end of the field just watching the whole entire ceremony.
So he missed the locker room talk after, and he basically was like, I would rather stick out here and see what this is like, so when we're there. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were like, it's become a new thing, though. Right now, every time after you lose, someone stands out there, but, like, I don't know, man. I think it's really, like, cool to see your dreams be achieved and then understand, like, what it takes to get there and seeing the players
That's
excited.
next level,
And be like, I want to do anything I can to make me get there. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, Bills plus 1.5 all day.
Oh. I'm taking the under.
I like that pick a lot.
54?
I mean, a lot.
54.
54 is too high for a playoff game, man.
Yeah.
It's just strictly
no
too
way
high.
it gets out of hand.
No.
No way. Chiefs, 47. 54, my bad. Yeah, I don't see it getting out of control. I think that D-line for the Bill. I still think my heart's set on the Bills Mafia. They destroyed me last week. I won't go against them again.
They destroyed. It was not even competitive.
It was literally the first perfect game in the postseason. Like, that's ridiculous. But I love that D-line.
Man.
I see Gregory Rousseau always get off the edge and just chasing. But yeah, under. Anything else you need to add? I mean, short episode.
Short episode. I mean, short and sweet. We're getting down to, the lower the games, the better the quantity. I mean, quantity over quality.
I guess what I'll do my one lock for NBA tonight. How about that?
Yeah, do it.
I think that'd be fun. Heat +1 versus Hawks tonight at 7:40 p.m. I like that. I like that a lot. I actually love the Heat. I don't know why.
I hate the Heat.
I like Jimmy Butler. I don't know. It's just like such a perfect. I don't know. I like Tyler Hero a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the personalities I appreciate.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, that team's full of personalities and young guys and old guys all coming together.
Yeah,
and overseas dudes. It's a really fun team. But
yeah, but
I got one more thing. Just wanted to give a warm welcome to our new offensive coordinator, Jim Chapin. I'm not quite sure, my guy. Super nice guy.
Super nice.
We got to meet him the other day, and we scored a lot of points. Buddy came in and said, we're going to score a lot of points here. We're going to win a lot of football games here.
I like his confidence.
I like his confidence. I like the way he ran the offense back at Sioux Falls, was a big D2 program he used to coach at, and got a lot of talented guys to play with here. Like,
yes.
You think you got some talented guys at a D2 program, you got 4 receivers and 4 running backs that are ready to put up 45 points a game and 400 yards a game. Instead, it's just, I'm excited, and yeah, I mean, they averaged 32 points a game and 412 yards.
Complete
and our
games.
Yeah, and we were averaging 40 points a game and 500 yards, but obviously we had a much more skilled team. But new quarterback, it's quarterback room. I mean, we know a little more than you do, but it's still completely open. I mean, I don't know who's starting. No one knows who's starting. Head coach doesn't know who's starting. So super excited for that. Future's bright.
Yeah.
We gonna win games till eternity. So.
Oh yeah, I love him. Love his attitude, and
Yeah.
this has been a fun year. This has been a fun year.
Yeah.
With him.
Super nice guy though. I mean, we're
Yeah.
2 19-year-old student assistants. You don't have any reason to be super, super kind to us.
Yeah.
We do what you ask.
Yeah, I was like,
just
oh.
such a nice guy
And down to earth.
and young guy too. I
Yeah.
have a thing for young coaches. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary to be bringing in an 80-year-old dude to run your offense. I think a 30-something-year-old who has a lot of experience and spends his free time watching film is
Yeah.
someone who you want to run your offense. So,
Yeah. So.
but UFC, NBA, NFL. I mean, you got nothing to do this weekend.
No.
You got something to do this
Yeah.
weekend. Like,
Sports are still here.
and I know you got to pay for that pay-per-view, but there's way around that. Uncle Dana don't want you to know that, but don't tell Dana White. You can go explore the Twitters and the streamers. But
yeah, that's everything we got.
super excited. We'll be back on Monday.
Yeah, Monday show recap with the fight this weekend and probably
Monday afternoon probably because no Monday game. Record Sunday night, so
start talking more about NBA probably.
Yeah, for sure. Because next week there's 2 games. We're not going to bore you guys with a 10-minute podcast, so we'll probably start with football, go into NBA, and
see how it goes.
Even some hockey.
Yeah,
We're getting closer to hockey playoffs. I know you're not the biggest fan, but
I heard it's the best though.
Hockey playoffs is the biggest. Like, it goes from everyone playing at half speed to like, holy crap! It's a different sport. That's how I describe it. It is a different sport. So we gonna keep this going, baby. That's all I gotta say. Like, so I'm excited.
All right, everyone. Have a good day.